Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and today we're going to be going over a post that was made on the Lodestone by director and producer Yoshi-P. And it's regarding the difficulties with server congestion that we have been facing for the past several weeks now. The game has picked up a lot of steam with content creators, not just from World of Warcraft, but from all different categories of games that are checking it out for the first time, playing through the story, posting their reactions, and getting ready for that big finale to the first story arc with Endwalker. And we've been wondering how much the team is really aware and or preparing for it, and leave it up to Yoshi-P to turn around with a quick response. Now, I'll TLDR this entire post for you. We didn't think our game would be so popular. We're working on a bunch of different ways to get more servers. We're even trying to throw more money at it to make it happen faster, and we're going to keep trying, and hopefully we can actually make sure that the game is stable and playable going into Endwalker. Now, it starts here with Yoshi-P just talking about while they're developing it, it's getting a ton of attention, especially in North America and Europe, and he actually goes over every little detail. I actually love these kind of posts from the dev team, where it's really the nitty-gritty stuff that I guess only specific types of people really ask or inquire about exactly what's happening on the back end and what is actually causing our server congestion, how solvable the problem actually is. This is the kind of thing that we love to see in the Final Fantasy XIV community. Dramatic increase in its player base. It's not limited to the global version, apparently. Even China and Korea are seeing record user numbers. All regions are seeing record number users, a lot of new players in every single region. NA and EU, as they say, over the past 2 weeks has been staggering and very unexpected. And some people might think, oh, it's how could they not be prepared for something like this? No one's ever prepared for running out of codes on the digital store and having so many people log in that people can't even leave their home server safely because they'll be afraid if they won't be able to make it back to their home server for quite some time. So there's a few things they wanted to do. So first of all, they apologized for the issues with the login servers, with the congestion. But so he goes into a few more things. The population that can be logged into each world at a server at one time is capped. For some of you may notice, this cap is not the same for all servers and differs somewhat between data centers. The main reason for this has to do with data centers matching server. A matching server can only handle so much information, so to ensure that it functions properly, a capacity limit must be set. This limit determines the overall maximum population of a data center, which is then divided by the number of worlds to calculate how many players can be logged in to each world. So a little bit of insight as to how they actually go about these numbers. It's not just one static number that is presented across all the different servers. It's actually done on a per data center level. If the matching server were to overload, it would result in the duty finder ceasing to function properly and instability when entering instanced combat. Sounds familiar, right? That sounds like the exact issue that caused our good old buddy Cold Steel back in Stormblood to become a meme. The meme that it still is to this day. And they've done a lot to alleviate that since then, and that was evident with Shadowbringer's launch being incredibly smooth. Differences in login caps occur due to differences in the number of worlds per data center, as well as the difference in matching server performance. As it happens, the matching servers used in North America were recently upgraded to a higher performance model. Continued optimizations, new equipment has allowed us as of July 16th to increase the maximum number of simultaneous logins by 18,000 or approximately 750 per world server. So they actually have already been doing some work, but the growth has been so exponential that it just doesn't look... It's almost gotten worse since July 16th. I feel like 16th, 17th, 18th were like some of the harshest days. It was the login if you were trying to log in during peak hours. Also, a matching server upgrade for the EU data centers, while currently planned for the immediate future, is still pending. Until the upgrade is implemented, it will be difficult for us to raise world login caps to the same degree as those in North America. So Europe, going to be a bit behind schedule, but it's still pending, so they may still have some more issues for the near future. Over the weekend of the 17th and 18th, several North American worlds, see exactly that. That's exactly what I ended up saying. As well, character creation was unavailable for long periods of time, and players faced average wait times of 10 to 20 minutes. For players residing on worlds in the European data center, it was as high as 40 minutes. And again, he's apologizing. Now they go into character creation and login wait times. When a world server reaches maximum capacity, any additional players attempting to log in will be placed in a queue and must wait until a player already on the server logs out before being admitted. This is as anyone would expect an actual login queue to actually work. We would ask two things from players to ensure that new players have the opportunity to create characters. First, if you're not playing the game, log out, please. We know that you just want to sit in town and dance and AFK, and that's what you're known for, but please just log out. Also, please do not avoid creating new characters during peak congestion times. Some of us like to make characters for videos, and we'll be stopping for the time being, although I don't think I have to make any new characters for any videos in the immediate future. I've been logging in old characters for that. Those who log in while the server is congested may experience login queues, which allows player into a server at a reduced rate. They exist for two reasons. Active logging in temporarily increases server load, so they want to make sure that doesn't become overloaded and crash. This is best avoided by staggering logins. Essentially, that almost kind of DDoSes their own servers by just allowing you to log in. Second is, as explained earlier, each world has a maximum login capacity to maintain stability. In such cases, players may only be admitted once others log out. We ask that you patiently remain in queue. That's the only option you have. If you're in queue, the only way you're going to get in is by staying in the queue. So that pretty much goes for you as it says. But they also like to clarify that free trial players, unfortunately, cannot sit in this queue. It will only be possible when the login queue is completely cleared. That really sucks for free trial players, and it almost indirectly kind of pushes people to make that $20 starter edition purchase. They're not doing that on purpose, but it almost like that's now a new feature of the starter edition. It's allows all these social features, gets rid of the free trial functions, or gets rid of the free trial limitations. And by the way, you can log in. So that's the only way you have around that, unfortunately, if you're a free trial player right now, or to just play during not peak hours where the queues aren't really that bad. As an emergency measure to combat congestion, we are planning the early implementation of the auto logout feature. They have already done this. If you are immobile for 30 minutes, then it will automatically log you out if no input is detected. And that will be further expanded to address the surge of logins expected at the launch of Endwalker. They do this at the launch of expansions. This is the first time I think they've ever done it between expansion launches, so it's a pretty big deal. It's like, oh, this won't be the most popular. Listen, we got to be understanding. I'm making sure I log out of the game as soon as I'm done with stream for the day. So hopefully we can all do a little bit of our part to make it easier for other people if we're not actually playing. Additional worlds and data centers. Fundamental solution to congestion is an increase in world servers as well as the addition of data centers. They've already announced this. They're doing a massive infrastructure update after Endwalker. Yeah, so they are preparing the Oceania data center, moving forward to plans to expand even further, putting wheels in motion in the form of approving budget, securing funding, and purchasing equipment. We intended to assess user numbers and plan content after the release of 6.0, and work to have new servers or data centers prepared for 7.0. However, they've had to reevaluate that timeline and see if they can speed it up, because I think even they're seeing that if they don't do this before Endwalker releases, we are going to have a Stormblood level situation where there will likely be frequent disconnects, frequent DDoSes just from players logging in or trying to access instance servers, and things of that nature. We will have Cold Steel again. I'm confident in saying that. And unfortunately, that looks like it could be very likely. So they're having issues pushing that timeline up. For one, they've had an extreme drop in semiconductor production, which makes it harder to actually get the servers delivered. They can't get made and delivered quickly enough. It's just an international shortage of those of the semiconductors that they need in order to make this work. So they've even said, hey, we'll pay you more. We'll pay you way over market value if you can just make it happen. But they still haven't been able to do it. So they're going to keep looking. They're going to keep saying, like, hey, listen, we will shovel as much money as humanly possible at you. Please. We need these. We need them. But there's no guarantee. They're going to keep looking. We'll just have to have fingers crossed on that front. Also, travel restrictions. Touched upon briefly with the Digital Fan Fest. Global travel restrictions due to the pandemic have prevented our server infrastructure team from physically visiting the data center locations, causing a considerable reduction in work efficiency. Over the past year and a half, the team has managed to work remotely with the overseas staff on the Oceania data center. It has been a challenge that we face when we look to expand our server capacity in Europe and North America. Many members of the team have been proactively getting their vaccinations and are looking into options such as vaccine passports as we plan for in-person visits to data centers. Of course, even should we have the opportunity for travel, we will respect each staff member's opinion on the matter and put their safety first. We continue to closely monitor the situation in other countries, and once it has been deemed safe and efficient given mandatory quarantines, we'll take further steps towards resuming on-site work overseas. The obstacles that face us are many. We believe the best, most efficient method for providing our players a stress-free gameplay experience is through the introduction of new servers and data centers. To see this goal realized as soon as possible, we on the development team, operations, infrastructure teams pledge to continue to do our utmost. And in conclusion, as producer, the responsibility to deal with this falls on me. The day before the expansion's launch are supposed to be ones of excitement, but instead they brought many players grief, and for that, I am sorry. For years, we have watched devoted players stream their time in 14, and we're still in awe while new fans join their ranks. As we enter our final push into Endwalker, is this constant flow of positive energy that motivates all of us in the development team and operations team to carry on. Nothing can compare to the feeling we get watching you enjoy playing the game we've created. We are aware of the burden we have placed on our player base and are working diligently to lighten it the coming weeks and months. We will continue to develop measures to combat server congestion, and we'll keep you up to date on any and all developments in this area. Thank you for your continued support. Naoki Yoshida, Final Fantasy XIV producer and director. So there you have it. It could still be a very difficult time leading into Endwalker, and it's almost fortunate that a lot of us have already done near everything we could possibly do going into Shadowbringers, but there's still a lot of people trying to play on the daily, trying to get those raids and work on their ultimates, maybe that ocean fishing achievement, collect those triple triad cards, or just a new player picking up and jumping into Eorzea first thing. And it's their first experience, and it can be pretty disheartening when before the launch of the expansion you're trying to get excited about, you're having trouble playing. But as long as this information reaches as many people as possible, I think a lot of people are a lot more understanding when it comes to these full explanations and what exactly is causing the congestion. So, TLDR again, Man apologizes for his game being too popular. We're sorry we made it so well and that our servers weren't prepared for what could have never been expected to happen months and months and months during the absolute content lull that is the pre-expansion times. Even after having a several month delay of our expansion launch, it looks like we're going to be running into some issues. So it's probably good we had those extra months in the first place and that we managed to take those extra months in the first place. So thank you to the development team and the operations team for doing all that you have been doing, and we'll keep a close eye on this situation and see how it improves in the coming weeks and months as they have been talking about. But make sure that if you have a friend who's trying out the game for the first time, they're frustrated regarding this, or if you just see somebody who just is unaware of the situation overall, you might want to send this to them. I'll include a link to it in the description below, and getting this around to as many eyes as possible, I think, is a great way of keeping morale high amongst players who may be a little frustrated with the given situation. So with that, be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share. I'll keep you up to date if they post anything else regarding this, and of course, anything Final Fantasy XIV in general. With that, I'll see you all in the next video, and until then, take care.